Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, what we witnessed on the day that the youth broke into Parliament is something that has never been witnessed in the history of this country. And we do not want to get to that.
Into this motion. And again, I caution the senators not to abuse that particular house rule, that you be factual. And remember, we have not suspended the standing orders of this house. So you have to take responsibility for whatever you say. You have to be factual, and whatever you say, you must be able to substantiate. So if you're unable to substantiate, don't go there. Don't abuse the fact that no points of orders shall be raised. So, Senator Tomojenda, if indeed what you're saying is factual, you may proceed. If it's not, just withdraw it and proceed to make your comment.
Mr. Speaker, I will proceed, and because Senator Eddy will have a chance to speak, I will drop it so that I move in a more structured manner. Mr. Speaker, it is not in doubt, Mr. Speaker, sir, that our party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, has seen the need, the greater interest of this country as overriding momentary interests or momentary party interests. And I thank him, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a time to focus. This is a time to bring a people together. It is a time to quell the near violence that we have seen in this country. It is a time to bring all levels of government together, Mr. Speaker, sir. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, what we witnessed on the day that the youth broke into Parliament is something that has never been witnessed in the history of this country. And we do not want to get to that low again. Mr. Speaker, sir, on that fateful day, not only was Parliament attacked, but the Supreme Court was also attacked. The county of Nairobi, the bastion or representing devolved power, was also attacked, Mr. Speaker, sir. This country must pull together. And to pull together, Mr. Speaker, sir, there must be a beginning. Political parties must ignore momentary political interests and sacrifice those momentary political interests for the bigger interests of this nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, today I rise as one of those last senators to be counted on this question. And my word is, Mr. Speaker, sir, that I stand for transformation. I stand for change. I want to see a country that is united. I want to see a country that is progressive. I want to see a country, Mr. Speaker, sir, that speaks in one voice. I want to see a country that knows peace and not conflict. And I pray, Mr. Speaker, sir, that we shall remember that when we were at our lowest, political parties came together and built a front that ended the near conflict, the near doom, and the near low that this country faced. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, with that, we'll defer the motion. Clerk, call the next order, please.
Order number 9, motion. Report of the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the Social Health Insurance General Regulations 2024 and the Social Health Insurance Tribunal Procedure Rules 2024. Division.
The motion is deferred.
The Houses of Parliament Bicameral Relations Bill, National Assembly Bills number 44 of 2023, Division.
The motion is deferred. That order, rather, is deferred.
Order number 11, the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 40 of 2023, division.
That order is also deferred. Next order.
Order number 12, the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bills number 41 of 2023, division.
That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 13, the Law of Succession Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 20 of 2023, division.
That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 14, the Constitution of Kenya Amendment number 2 Bill, Senate Bills number 52 of 2023, second reading.
Now, honorable senators, this motion is up for debate. I'm not having any name on my dashboard. And the mover is not present also to reply, so we'll defer that order. Next order.
Order number 15, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Kathuri Murungi. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 16, the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 40 of 2022, second reading.
The Senate Majority Leader. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 17, the County Oversight and Accountability Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Ledama Olekina. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 18, the County Civic Education Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2024, second reading.
Senator S.C. Okenyuri. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 19, the County Statistics Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Ali Roba. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 20, the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2024, second reading.
The Senate Majority Leader. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 21, the Intergovernmental Relations Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 12 of 2024, second reading.
The Senate Majority Leader. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 22, the County Assembly's Pension Scheme Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of 2024, second reading.
The Senate Majority Leader. That order is deferred. Next order.
Order number 23, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the status of implementation of projects funded by the conditional grant for the construction of county headquarters.
Honorable Senators, that motion is now on the floor for debate. Who is the mover? Yes, Senator Mngatana.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether the motion was moved. It was. Okay, then. And seconded. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to, first of all, congratulate the Honorable Senator Ali Roba, who moved this motion. And Mr. Speaker, if the House will remember, the report carries with it the facts that there were 5 county headquarters that had not been constructed. And in 2015, Mr. Speaker, the Senate established an ad hoc committee that made a decision to assist these county headquarters to be constructed. And Mr. Speaker, it was a conditional grant. One of those counties was Tana River County. That, Mr. Speaker, every financial year, some amount of money, 117 million, was to be given to these 5 counties, and then this would form 70% of the construction cost of the counties, and the counties were meant to give the 30% contribution so that, Mr. Speaker, these counties would have their own headquarters. Mr. Speaker, the other counties, the other 4 counties were Tharaka Nithi, there was Lamu, there was Isiolo, and there was Nyandarua. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to focus on the fact that Tana River County, since devolution started up to date, it has not built its own county headquarters. And, Mr. Speaker, despite the promise by the national government to give the 70% contribution, up to now, Mr. Speaker, these headquarters have not been constructed. And, Mr. Speaker, the 5 senators from these 5 counties, we were invited by Chairman Finance Ali Roba to attend the meetings so that we can resolve the issues. And, Mr. Speaker, at the end of these meetings, there were commitments that were made by the national government, and the governors of the county government agreed that they would finish their part. Mr. Speaker, up to now, the 5 county headquarters have not been constructed. What I want to acknowledge here is that the national government, the PS of Public Works, and the CS, the PS Treasury, they have played their part. They have even written agreements, Mr. Speaker, to transfer now the full responsibility of construction to the county governments. And now the issue of having issues about who is in charge of the actual construction of the projects has been finalized. Mr. Speaker, I really wanted to take this opportunity to thank the Senate Finance Committee because of the leadership it has shown in this matter. Mr. Speaker, in Tana River County, for example, Mr. Speaker, you visit other counties and you see the beautiful county headquarters. You visit other governors and you see truly some counties have beautiful executive offices of their governors, where important discussions are done, and even potential donors, potential partners, potential economic investors in the counties, they go and they have confidence that they are dealing with the right people. But when you come to our county, Mr. Speaker, since devolution started, it has not been possible to to also enjoy the facilities of a county headquarters. So, Mr. Speaker, I am grateful to the Senate Finance Committee for the work they have done, for the leadership they have taken, calling all the 5 governors, calling the Treasury people, calling the Public Accounts Committee together to a table to agree on what needs to be done to solve the issues of county headquarters once and for all. Mr. Speaker, I really am grateful that we have been able, as a Senate, to offer leadership through the Senate Finance Committee. And so I thank the Senate Finance Committee, and my prayer is that now the implementers, who are the county governors, will be able to take it from where we left it, and they will be able to construct this building. And the monies that were promised by Treasury, that they will release those funds in good time, Mr. Speaker. I pray that those funds will be released so that we can enjoy the facilities of good county governments for the 5 counties that did not have county executive offices for their county governors. So, Mr. Speaker, mine is to urge the contractors who by now I believe must have received their monies to finish the work on time. We have waited for a long time since devolution up to now, and Tana River County deserves to have a good county headquarters. Isiolo County, Tharaka Nithi County, Lamu County, as well as Nyandarua counties. All these counties, Mr. Speaker, they deserve to have good county headquarters where this work, the work of the governors and the county executive, can be executed. Mr. Speaker, aside from that, I wanted to take this opportunity also to discuss the question of the mandates of committees within this House. Mr. Speaker, the mandate that committees exercise in this House have been challenged by the recent developments in the youth. The demonstrations that took place in the country recently, raising one of the issues as the way the financial management of this country is carried out, it raises certain questions about the mandates of committees in this House. Mr. Speaker, if you look at this report by Senator Roba, our very able chairman, it states, like all committees, that the mandate of the Committee of Finance is extracted from Article 124(1) of the Constitution, which provides for the establishment of committees. As Mr. Speaker, Finance Committee of the Senate itself is supposed to examine the policy issues, to scrutinize the expenditures of county governments, examine proposals for legislation, and produce a report. Mr. Speaker, if you look at that report again, it says that the Senate Committee on Finance and Budget is established under the PFM Act, Public Finance Act 2012, and the Standing Order number 228 of the Senate Standing Orders. And Mr. Speaker, one of the things that this Finance Committee is supposed to do is to scrutinize how the funds are being utilized in the various county governments. And it's not just the Finance Committee. We have the Special Funds Committee, Mr. Speaker, that is chaired by the Honorable Sosi. We also have the Public Accounts Committee that is chaired by Senator Kajwang. Mr. Speaker, we have been making very serious recommendations that come from the reports of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, there is a lot that committees in this Senate have been doing in terms of reporting misuse and mismanagement of funds that are allocated under the equitable share, and also those are raised from on-source revenues from county governments. But Mr. Speaker, the fact that the young people went into the streets and they are raising questions, not just on the national government, but even on the county government, it means this mechanism that we use, that governors come, they give explanation on audit queries, and then they go away. This mechanism, Mr. Speaker, not only in the Senate, but also in the National Assembly, when they are now oversighting the national government, this mechanism, Mr. Speaker, has been brought to question. That, Mr. Speaker, our own chairman of a Public Accounts Committee of the Senate declares a whole county that this office is a criminal, it's an area, it's a crime scene, Mr. Speaker, and it needs investigation. But then we leave it there. So our people have been seeing these things on television, Mr. Speaker. They have seen governors not being able to explain themselves. And yet the mechanism that we have, Mr. Speaker, does not force governors to go to take plea for misdeeds within their counties. Mr. Speaker, when you visit the Public Accounts Committee, you would see even within the Public Accounts Committee, there are members from the Auditor General's office, there is a representation from the EACC. Mr. Speaker, no action is taken. Governors come, they ask for time, and I have attended, Mr. Speaker, a session for Tana River County, where the chairman himself has said if it was in another jurisdiction, you would be staying down in the cells waiting for police action. But, Mr. Speaker, in our jurisdiction, in our system of oversight, the governors come, they explain themselves, they are given more time, they come again, they explain themselves, they are given more time. And, Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General now is even a very frustrated person. Mr. Speaker, the question our young people are asking, the monies which are being given to the county governments, the mismanagement of these funds, what are the consequences, Mr. Speaker? This, Mr. Speaker, is a question that we need to look at as Senate. This mandate of Article 124(1) of the Constitution that is clearly not being effective, because if these managers of our resources in the counties are coming and going and coming and going and no consequence is visited upon them, it means, Mr. Speaker, the committee system in Kenya is not working. And we need to relook at this committee system to see if it is actually oversighting the county governors, to see if actually there are any consequences, Mr. Speaker, or misuse of county government funds. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the Auditor General's report, you will see that some county governments have over 300 accounts. My own county, Mr. Speaker, 34 accounts. Other counties that have been mentioned, 200 accounts, 100 accounts, more than. And, Mr. Speaker, against the rules of the Public Finance Management Act, and yet no consequences. You write to the relevant authorities, no consequences. Mr. Speaker, this country, through the demonstrations that have taken place, are asking for a new culture. Either, Mr. Speaker, we give directions, because corruption is not going to be done to be solved by the president. Corruption is going to be solved by all the arms of government playing their roles. If the committees of this House, Mr. Speaker, are giving direction that this is a crime scene, that this governor needs to be arrested and charged, you have ESCC sitting there, you have representation from the Auditor General, and nothing happens. Mr. Speaker, we need to take the opportunity, like the president took the opportunity to start wiping off. He dealt with his cabinet. We need also to have a retrospect, Mr. Speaker. Are these committee systems working? Do we need to also change our laws? Do we need to make our teeth bite, Mr. Speaker? What else can we do? Because our committees, Mr. Speaker, even governors refuse to come, some of them, and nothing happens to them. We just put the fine of the normal fine of $500 million. They come and pay, they apologize, and they go away. We say that this money has been mismanaged. They come, they explain, they go away. Mr. Speaker, the committee system must be made to work. The committee system must actually be made to work. And it is time, just like the executive has taken action to create a system that is more accountable. Even us, Mr. Speaker, in this House, we can take the opportunity, because the public is asking for answers. When systems fail, it's when the public goes out, and because there's no leadership now. When they see even members of parliament, Mr. Speaker, they have audit queries, and there's nothing that happens to them, Mr. Speaker. Our people are also asking, apart from the executive taking action from these demonstrations from our youth, we also need to look introspectively into ourselves. We look into these committee systems. What do we need to do to strengthen them so that people who are managing public funds, Mr. Speaker, can face consequences when things are not being handled as per the expectations of the public? Mr. Speaker, otherwise, I beg to support this report and thank very much the Finance Committee for the work they have done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Maito.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also rise to support this report of the Finance Committee on the status of the implementation of projects that were funded by conditional grant for the construction of county headquarters. Honorable Speaker, one of the counties that were beneficiary of this conditional grant was my county, Nyandarua County, and the reason why this was mooted in this House, Honorable Speaker, was to address the iniquity that met 5 of the counties that have been mentioned here: Lamu, Isiolo, Tana River, Nyandarua, and I think one more county, Honorable Speaker, which after the hiving off and after counties came by, Honorable Speaker, either their old district headquarters were taken to other places, or they never enjoyed to have been headquarters of former provinces, Honorable Speaker. One of these cases, Honorable Speaker, was Nyandarua County, whose old district headquarters were in Nyahururu, Honorable Speaker. In the new dispensation of the counties, Honorable Speaker, Nyahururu became part of Laikipia, and then we were then forced to go to a new county headquarters on Kalau, which didn't have government facilities, Honorable Speaker. However, just as it has been correctly noted by the Committee on Finance, Honorable Speaker, these projects and this idea, very, very brilliant idea that was mooted in 2017, has taken inordinately long to have it implemented or to have it come to fruition, Honorable Speaker. Some of the projects that we are speaking about, and in the case for Nyandarua, Honorable Speaker, the contract for the establishment of the county headquarters was signed in March of 2020. So close to 5 years later, Honorable Speaker, not really much has been able to be achieved because as it is in the project status right now, Honorable Speaker, the county headquarters has only been done up to about 55%, Honorable Speaker. And there are two things to it, Honorable Speaker. You know, this project was to be jointly undertaken by the county government and the national government, Honorable Speaker. And since we were invited by the committee twice, my own governor, myself, and the other governors from the other counties and the other senators from the other counties, Honorable Speaker, Tharaka-Nithi, Lamu, Isiolo, and Tana River, there are two things that came out very clearly, and I think it is in the recommendation of the committee. And I think it is fair that I also report, to the best of my knowledge, especially for the case of Nyandarua, in terms of the overall responsibilities of project management, including supervision, monitoring, and payment of contractors, Honorable Speaker, that is a secondary matter. But there was a request by the Council of Governors when they appeared before the committee. There was a request by the governors when they appeared before the committee, the governor for Tharaka-Nithi and the other 5 governors, Honorable Speaker, that they requested that now this project is now transferred to the counties, Honorable Speaker, for two things. One, Honorable Speaker, most of these projects had variations that were over 25% that is acceptable in law, Honorable Speaker. The initial cost of the county headquarters for Nyandarua was supposed to be 412 or 427 millions, Honorable Speaker. But after the first certificates were raised, the contractor had raised certificates of about 322 million. Then the new contract was entered into was for about 450 million, Honorable Speaker. So the contract sum went to up to almost twice the amount that was initially supposed to do with this county headquarters, Honorable Speaker. And it is at this point then, Honorable Speaker, we must also speak about standardization, because even though the cost of construction in different places is different, Honorable Speaker, it sometimes becomes very alarming of the reason why a county headquarters in or a governor's resident in Mandera, Honorable Speaker, should cost 252 million, and a governor's resident in Kericho is costing 60 million. I mean, a governor is a governor, Honorable Speaker. The kind of facility that the governor for Kilifi, the governor for Mombasa, the governor for Nairobi requires is the same kind of facility that the governor for Isiolo also requires to run, Honorable Speaker. There was a request, and there is a recommendation that I did support, Honorable Speaker, that the intergovernmental arrangements framework for the implementation of the project should be revised to ensure that to ensure expeditious completion of the projects, Honorable Speaker. If this idea first came to the Senate in 2017, Honorable Speaker, we are now 7 years into the implementation of the project. If the projects have only been done 55%, the people are not getting as much utility as they should from getting a county headquarters, Honorable Speaker. I would want to conceptualize it this way, Honorable Speaker, that in the case for Nyandarua, the county assembly of Nyandarua was conceived after the county headquarters. The county assembly is now complete, has been in use for the last about 3 years. The county assembly office block was conceptualized after the county assembly, after the county government headquarters, Honorable Speaker. The county assembly office block, which is also a very big building in Olokala, Honorable Speaker, is complete, but the county government headquarters are still not complete. The land registry in Olokala, Honorable Speaker, was mooted way after the county headquarters. It was launched way after the county headquarters, Honorable Speaker. But as it is now, the land registry in Olokala is complete, but the county government headquarters are not complete, Honorable Speaker. The judiciary in Olokala, Honorable Speaker, I'm happy to inform you that now in Olokala we have a magistrate and we have a high court in Olokala, Honorable Speaker. The building for that particular judiciary building, Honorable Speaker, started way after the county headquarters. But the judiciary is complete, it is in use, but the county headquarters is yet to be in use, Honorable Speaker. So this completion of this county headquarters must be expeditious. And now that this project has been handed over to the county government, especially in the case of Nyandarua, because I saw the governor with the PS for Treasury and the team from the Treasury, Honorable Speaker, midwifing the handover from the national government to the county government. I now want to wish that now this matter becomes now a matter of the past. If the money that remains, because out of the money that we are supposed to get from the national government in the 2022-2023 budget, only about 800 million had been released out of the money that the national government had committed of 1.8 billion, Honorable Speaker. I am not so certain how much was able to be absorbed in the 2023-2024 budget, Honorable Speaker. But if there are monies that are remaining in the national government, I think it is high time that we now ensure we send this money. And in this regard, Honorable Speaker, it is for this reason why I feel that even as we deal with the matters that we speak about, cutting our budgets, dealing with matters on austerity, if there are monies that we as a House must really try and protect, are the monies that are supposed to go to devolution, Honorable Speaker. Because even though the finance bill did not see the light of the day, Honorable Speaker, it does not mean that we cannot be able to collect as much as we collected last year. The minimum that we can get is what we got last year. We cannot go lower to what we got last year, Honorable Speaker, in terms of the monies that we are sending to the counties. If anything, Honorable Speaker, even revenues have expanded. The revenues that we are collecting this year are not the same revenues that we collected last year. So if our revenues are expanding, if the budget of the national government is expanding, Honorable Speaker, we must also expand the budget of the counties. You know, Honorable Speaker, we were being told that national government has a big burden, which I actually agree, because we need to absorb JSS teachers, Honorable Speaker. We need to ensure that we take care of our doctors, Honorable Speaker. But we cannot forget that even as we absorb JSS teachers, Honorable Speaker, there is the plight of ECD teachers that are in our counties, Honorable Speaker, who are earning a meager 8,000, Honorable Speaker. If we cannot send enough money to ensure that we help governors so that they can have the ECD teachers put in a very good contract so that they can be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, Honorable Speaker, we shall have done a disservice to our counties. That I know will be a substantive motion that we shall deliberate on, Honorable Speaker, on the money that we are supposed to send to the counties. But I actually feel, Honorable Speaker, that even in the budgets of the county governments, because there was a share that was supposed to be contributed by the county governments, Honorable Speaker, even as we cry about the money that we want to push from the national budget, the monies that are supposed to have been appropriated by the county governments themselves, Honorable Speaker, there should not be an issue on expending that money, Honorable Speaker. They should be able to have budgeted in this budget of 2024-2025, Honorable Speaker, so that at least we remain with the bit that now remains with the national government, Honorable Speaker. On issues of project management, including supervision, you know, Honorable Speaker, counties have had this habit of saying that because the Department of Public Works is the one that does supervision, is the one that does monitoring, Honorable Speaker, is the one that certifies certificates so that contractors can be paid, Honorable Speaker. They want to use this as a reason for the inordinate delays in one, payment of contractors, and in two, certification of the works done, Honorable Speaker. We actually agree that this role be now transferred to the county governments so that they can supervise and they can monitor, and so that they can be able to honor the certificates that are raised, Honorable Speaker. Finally, there's this body that is called AJAABU, Honorable Speaker. I think it is high time that they now step up, Honorable Speaker, so that they can be able to try and be the umpire between the national government and the county government, Honorable Speaker, in terms of even these projects that are co-financed by the national government, Honorable Speaker. In most of our counties, and you know, Honorable Speaker, it was part of the dreams, it was part of the manifesto of this particular administration, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that we have an industrial and aggregation park, county industrial and county aggregation and industrial park, CAIP, in every county, Honorable Speaker, in every of our 47 counties, Honorable Speaker. The financing of this particular county aggregation and industrial park was supposed to be 50-50, Honorable Speaker. The national government was supposed to give 250, the county governments were supposed to give 250, Honorable Speaker. In most of the counties, you ask the senators here, even those ones that these projects have been launched, Honorable Speaker, you find that counties either do not have the money, have not put the money, or the national government have not put the money, Honorable Speaker. You know, there's a second program from the national government that has been very successful on the community health promoters, and you know we dealt with this bill when we were in Turkana, Honorable Speaker. But you find in almost all our counties, as the senators were here who confirm, Honorable Speaker, that the only stipends that the county health promoters have been able to receive are the monies that come from the national government, because the county governments have not been able to put enough money, or they have not been able to match what has been brought by the national government. The county governments have not matched, Honorable Speaker. So I think it is high time that IGRTC, Honorable Speaker, and even the Council of Governors and all these bodies that are between the national government and the county governments, including this Senate, Honorable Speaker, we try and pronounce ourselves, because if the money is there in the national government for the community health promoters, why can't we then follow up to ensure that this money that is coming from the national government, there is the matching money, that is in the county government's, Honorable Speaker. I do not intend to say more than that, Honorable Speaker, but I actually feel if we are not able to complete these county headquarters in this financial year of 2024-2025, we shall have done a disservice to our people. Our people will not have gotten the utility that we want to get, Honorable Speaker. It is not fair that even in some of the counties that county governors continue hiring offices that they can operate from, Honorable Speaker. I know in the case of Nyandarua, I know there are still offices that are hired from private, Honorable Speaker. We must be able to finish these county headquarters, Honorable Speaker, so that the governors can get places to work from, and so that even our counties can be able to move forward. I support, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mofire.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I'm one of the counties that are affected by this motion, and I want to sincerely thank Chair Finance, my brother Senator Roba, for having brought this very important motion before this House. Honorable Speaker, Tharaka Nithi County has for very many years suffered some historical injustices. Tharaka Nithi, Honorable Speaker, was hived from the defunct Meru County Council, and all through for the last 60 years down the line, we have been putting structures in Meru County. We built county council headquarters. We put in place all the structures in place in Meru County. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, in 1992, Tharaka Nithi was hived from Meru County, and we became a district. Then, after the new constitution, Tharaka Nithi, among many other counties, Mwingi, and so many other counties for that matter, attained the status of being a county for that matter. Honorable Speaker, when we became a county, people through public participation sat down and agreed that for effective representation, for effective devolution, we should have a place called Kadwana as county headquarters. Kadwana was a market, and is still a market, because, Honorable Speaker, Kadwana serves, and to very many, it is the headquarters of the Tharaka Nithi County, where people will be served equally without necessarily having to travel from far distance, so that we could realize the essence of devolution. Honorable Speaker, it is important for this House to note that for the last 12 years since inception of devolution, Kadwana has remained a ghost county headquarters with no meaningful structures in place. We have a county assembly which is in makeshifts, the Mbati structures. I remember last time, Honorable Speaker, I took devolution committee to Kadwana, and I was terribly ashamed. So, Honorable Speaker, I have captioned quite a number of debaters argue about the conditional grant that was given to county headquarters. But of course, Honorable Speaker, this man has faced a lot of challenges. Because, Honorable Speaker, I don't know why, for what reasons, that man has to go through the public works, creating a lot of bureaucratic processes and a lot of hiccups here and there. I don't know for what reasons, Honorable Speaker, that money should not be channeled and directed to the relevant counties for them to, if they cannot be, they can be trusted with the billions of money that they are getting as a share of revenue. I don't know for what reasons that money is not given to governors directly. So, Honorable Speaker, it is important, Honorable Speaker, that we